What does this discovery tell us?
Well, this was a wonderful coincidence of nature.
So what happens in our final moments? Do our lives really flash before our eyes? Well, for the first time, scientists were able to scan a brain, discovering that the final moments are similar to something that happens every night as we sleep.
The study's co-author, neuroscientist Dr. Ajmal Zamar, says that these findings challenge our understanding of when exactly life ends.
The discovery comes as the rival James Webb telescope captured this stunning first-of-its-kind image of another star just weeks ago. Now scientists are trying to figure out just what this newest Hubble discovery could mean.
The James Webb Space Telescope will glimpse the dawn of time like nothing before it.
From a tropical rainforest to the edge of time itself, James Webb begins a voyage back to the birth of the universe.
You're talking about potentially answering some of the questions that have occurred to people since the first people looked up at the stars.
Absolutely.
See back in time and learn, perhaps, how all of this came to be.
It's a question that has puzzled, mystified scientists for centuries. Does our life really flash before our eyes when we're dying, reliving our most memorable moments in the span of seconds? Tonight, researchers say we may be one step closer to solving this mystery.
It was a total accident.
It's the first ever recording of a dying human brain, one that happened entirely by chance.
How it happened, how you were able to get this data, because I thought that part of the story was almost just as fascinating.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a complete accident.
So how'd they go about doing it? Well, a man with epilepsy died of a heart attack while going through a brain scan to detect and treat his seizures. The brain activity they documented provides some of an explanation for those who recall having vivid near-death experiences. Just before the man's heart stopped working, there were changes in his brain waves. They became very similar to what happens when we dream or when we are in meditation or thinking back about our memories.
During this, the patient had a cardiac arrest and died. That was what led us to the first ever recording of a dying human brain. What we find is a very similar pattern of brain waves happening in the phase 30 seconds before the heart stops pumping blood into the brain and 30 seconds after the heart stops pumping blood into the brain. That was quite astonishing to us.
Dr. Ajmal Zamar is a neurosurgeon at the University of Louisville who led the study. He says the patient's brain waves are similar to what's seen in people when they're dreaming, recalling memory flashbacks. And he says the pattern fits the description of what some have described after surviving a near-death experience. Dr. Zamar says the study was done in 2016, but he waited years to publish his work, reaching out to colleagues and hoping to find more case studies. That's when he realized just how rare it was to actually capture this type of brain recording. Again, it's only one case, and a lot more research is needed to determine if this phenomenon is something all of us experience or not. But when you think about it, how difficult it would be to do a research study like this, but it is a fascinating subject.
Fascinating indeed.
Thank you, Dory.
Thanks, Dory.
Record-breaking discovery. A star at least 50 times the size of the sun and more than 28 billion light years away was spotted by the Hubble Space Telescope.
Iconic Hubble Space Telescope making a major discovery. It spotted the most distant star ever seen. Here's a look at the star that NASA is calling Earendel. The name translates to morning star in Old English, and old is Earendel. Apparently, it formed less than 1 billion years after the Big Bang.
It's kind of this wonderful gift from the universe.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Well, this was a wonderful coincidence of nature. There is a cluster of galaxies that's closer to us. It's only about 5 billion light years away, and I know that doesn't sound very close, but all of the mass of that cluster, many, many hundreds of galaxies, is actually warping space and time itself. This is something predicted by Albert Einstein 100 years ago. And all of that space, incredibly, is warping into a natural telescope. A telescope made of space and time. And way on the other side of the universe, just conveniently lined up, we think it's just a coincidence,
a key to perhaps unlock the secrets of the universe. And keep this in mind, the discovery was made by the Hubble Space Telescope. Now, the James Webb Space Telescope is up there now, and it's 100 times more powerful than Hubble. So exciting times for space exploration.
I can't even believe this.
Well, at first, I have to say I was skeptical, as any good scientist should be. You sort of say, well, wait a minute, how do you know that's a star? How do you know it's not some big cluster of stars or even a galaxy? At that distance, we can barely see even entire galaxies. But then the data came in and it became more and more convincing, and I realized, wow, there was a cosmic coincidence, and this star so far away was actually magnified thousands of times brighter than it should be because of a natural lensing of space and time itself.
The speed of light, we were looking at this earlier, it's about 188,000 miles per second. And that's how fast you got to go for 28 billion years to reach that star. Who going?
Jabari, we're trying to wake up right now.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of math.
It's just too much to wrap your head around, but I'm going to make it even more complicated, right?
Okay.
So this is how you said 28 billion light years away. It may not even be there anymore.
That's true.
Right? Because it took that long for that light to get here. And we don't know, it might be gone.
Because it does, because light does travel, and it does take some time to reach our eyes. The sun, I believe, is 8 seconds away. Look at me coming out with all this info.
It could prove or disprove hypotheses like string theory, the Big Bang theory, and now we are one step closer to unwrapping these mysteries of our universe.
We have this Big Bang, but we don't know why it banged. We don't know what banged. We don't know where the bang is going. We just know there was a bang.
Yeah.
So you see, there are a lot of gaps in Einstein's theory. But Einstein's theory is the overall architecture for understanding the origin of the universe.
New data published in the Astrophysical Journal suggests the universe is expanding 9% faster than previously calculated.
One of the interesting things that had happened is on the 8th of January, we told our team, my God, the universe appears to be accelerating. And we would have, 20 years ago when we did it, it bothered me. I'm like, how can we be in a universe that has a beginning, has no end, and we live in this special time where we can measure? And I find that very perplexing. I mean, you'd never want to be at a special time, but it does seem like the world we're in. And we need to also remember in Belgium in 1927, Georges Lemaitre, who you talked about earlier, Georges Lemaitre showed him his PhD thesis, which he was working on at MIT remotely. He basically showed, here, look at the data of Hubble and Slipher. The universe is expanding. Here's the equations that I have derived. And Einstein reportedly said, well, your equations have already been derived by Friedman, and he said something, you are a much better mathematician than a physicist or something like that.
Yeah, I think he said your math is correct, but your physics is abominable.
Yeah, that's right. And pretty much just missed him out of hand. So poor Georges Lemaitre, who did everything, gets pipped at the post by Hubble 2 years later, who did a lot of the hard observational work, but oh well, that's life.
Well, it's an amazing example of inner fortitude. I mean, I think if I went to Einstein with an idea and Einstein told me that my physics was abominable, I probably would have changed careers or hidden under a rock or something. But that isn't the case with Georges Lemaitre. I mean, he actually stays with it and pushes this idea forward.
Yeah, he was. I said it must have been an interesting character.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's unusual to have training in physics and to be ordained. The Pope at the time, I forget which Pope it was, got wind of his work in cosmology and described it as giving a confirmation of the story of Genesis. And this, to Lemaitre, was absolutely mortifying because he had diligently and carefully drawn a line between his theological, his religious side of his being and this sort of scientific side. Now, if you're going to do work in science that has to do with the origin of the universe, you shouldn't be too surprised that it's going to be, crossing over. But it was something that he found very difficult when the religious community kind of glommed on to his work as some kind of confirmation of the ideas in the Bible.
It's already mic check, mic check, mic check. All praises, glory, and honor to the Most High, on the Creator and Possessor of all things. Whoever lives is known the beloved Son in the hearts and minds of all you brothers and sisters. Bless up.
Yes, sir.
You know, get down to the end of the first day of unleavened bread. Be over here already snacking on some unleavened bread and some bitter herbs, horseradish fruits. Got the brother Darius standing up, walking around the living room.
He clean his nose out.
He got to clean his nose out, baby. Praise the glory now to the Most High. Hallelujah. Yah, how y'all doing in the building? Bless up. If we can be heard, give us a Yahoo up in the chat. Bless up. Yahoo. Let me show y'all what we doing so far with it. Well, you know this. Some people say the bitter herbs are lettuce. I've heard that before. When we eat that lettuce, I said, nah, bro. Yo, I come out the zone with a bitter herb. The bitter herbs look like almost like quarters. That's a horseradish root right there. Boy, got Darius' eyes, the cheek a little wet and watery over there. What? This here ain't no joke. You got some badass children, give them some of this.
Oh, no.
Sit on down. I'll pray.
What's that? The inner root.
Yeah, you know, of course, we got some unleavened bread. I didn't make this unleavened bread. I'm going to make some tomorrow. We was running late, so had to snatch some. But this right here is the bitter herb, baby. See how thick this sucker is? That's a thick boy. Yeah. That's a thick boy right there.
Nehemiah don't need that much. He don't say that much.
Yeah, whatever. Nehemiah over here doing his breath work. As soon as he... I said, oh, yeah, this serious. Roddy Rod over here kind of quiet. Who's up, Roddy Rod? Hey, you know who the soldier is? Soraya.
Yeah, she
Soraya the soldier. Three of them. Like she said, is these the bitters? She was like,
right
these the bitters. Grab them. But these deals will get you right. It's horseradish root. I went to Whole Foods and got a big old horseradish root about that long. I skinned it and then I just chopped it on down. You know what I mean? These little pieces you see right here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they got all type of like half pieces on it.
I'm starting to question the brotherhood, trying to make brother eat that guy. Is the brotherhood for real, brother?
I'm going hard. I ain't got no water. I'm going hard.
Man. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Wow.
Happy piece of unleavened bread to the family. Matter of fact, let me go get some more.
Let me go. We don't eat.
Baby, I don't stand that much.
Now we. All the pieces of chicken you done.
Well, not this year. I ain't no meat this year. I'm good. Yeah, now if you'd have called me last year, I need about a half a plate. I was a chicken eater, boy. We stay on that chicken from the door. Well, we stayed plates full of that yard.
We can make some pizzas out of these boxes today too. I got the whole line there.
Ah.
I thought he was
saying
make pieces out of these.
Pizza sauce, tomato sauce on there, a little cheese, and whatever little toppings.
Absolutely.
Throw it in the oven.
You would throw it in the oven. I got
10 to 12. You out of there.
We'll make pizzas. We'll make pizzas. So the fam.
That's a Passover deal, boy.
This whole little thing that we'll make our own personal pizzas. Some people be like, man, what I eat? You know what I mean? Because you ain't supposed to be eating no type of yeast or living this week. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it, you can make unleavened bread, bro. It take a few minutes. You know
I saw the recipe.
Yeah, so I was just telling Tia-Boo, like, look, I'm thinking like just from her on out, you know, when you be doing like your veggie sandwiches and all that, I might as well just make, instead of using the regular bread, go ahead unleavened bread.
I just bought some spelt flour.
Spelt flour. Mm-hmm. Now we was talking about, we got some of that in there, you know what I mean? So all you need is water, spelt flour or something, you know what I mean? A little bit of olive oil and salt, or season to your own life. You know what I mean? So we about to make some pizzas. We're gonna make pizzas out of these. We're gonna put our own. We're gonna make sure we put the marinara sauce on it. Then you add your ingredients and add your plant-based cheese, brother.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And then you can either eat it raw, or we got the option if you want to put it in the oven. You know what I mean? That oven be off the chain.
Hey, that be my thing.
Yeah,
boy.
man.
Get a box of that, boy. And
Boy,
about two of those for dinner.
Get you through the week.
That's easy work.
You know, and then you notice, this that week where everybody got to tighten their belts up because you start losing weight. You know what I mean? Because you're not eating that yeast or that leaven, you dig? And as that rise in age, that rises within your own intestines. Look up, you all bloated and all that. That's all that bread. You know what I mean? That's basically what we're gonna be doing. Want to get on here for a little bit real quick though, chop it up with the people. Bless up.
They just digested one.
This our first Passover where it's fleshless and bloodless.
He gonna tell us some help me. I said stop helping.
I got a big one, boy. This is serious. I might have to get off the camera.
Hey, boy, I had to get off the camera.
Good old bread.
Come on, let's go. Come on. Don't make us. No, you're fine.
I'm doing one right now. It's right in the left. It's right in the left nostril. I gotta eat it now. Yeah. I gotta eat right now.
I'm drooling, boy. He's not gonna lick out my mouth. Hey, y'all don't laugh at me, man.
Nice. Good. Nice. Serious. Yeah, make the pizza, Sister YAH'KI. Bless up. I see y'all in the building. All praise. You can get creative all week with the unleavened bread. I mean, pizza. You can make nachos. You know what I mean? I think I'm turning up. What? You can make your pizza. You can make your nachos. You know what I mean? Anything that you would usually eat with bread, you just use the unleavened. You know what I mean? This whole week, you'll see your body, you know what I mean, start reacting to not putting that leaven up in there. Because symbolically, leaven is symbolic for the sin. You know what I mean? On a spiritual level. I see y'all in the building. Bless up. Who we got in the building? Ema Set Apart Living. Bless up. I see you. That's the Ema with the recipes. So you already know. Bless up. Jay Manson, Shalom family. Sis YAH'KI. That's right. I'll make some pizzas with that unleavened bread. Let's make our own unleavened bread. Just incorporate it, you know what I mean, with all your meals. All right, Sister YAH'KI, bless up, bless up. Who we got next? J. Marie King. Bless up, J. Marie King. Hallelujah. I'm Joseph Evans in the building. Bless up, King. You, your wife, your new short leg on the way. All praises, brother. All praises. All praises. Lovely Queen in the building. My ATL Georgia sister. Blessings to you, your family, your sons. Tell them all I said shalom. Happy feast of unleavened bread. Bless up. Right here. YAH'KI in the building. My indigenous sister. Bless up. How you doing, Queen? What's the word? I got liquid bitters too, man. But that ain't horseradish root ain't in there.
What you got now?
I can read the ingredients to you. I can read. I got them in there. You dang.
Yeah, I'm just brought out over here.
All right, right. Who else we got in the building? Who else we got? Brother Yahoo died. Bless up, King. How you be, brother? How you be? John Kidd, hallelujah. How you be, brother? Imad Robbie Dobson in the building. Bless up. Abundant blessings from the highest heaven. Praise and glory now to the Most High. Sunshine and rain gardening. Okay, I like that. Bless up. Shalom, shalom. Take Israel, my beloved sister. Bless up. Bless up, J-Ho. It's the word, my Nazarene brethren. Bless up. Vinicius Long, my beloved brother. Praise Sean Thomas in the building. Bless up. That's Uncle Obed. That's Uncle Obed, brother. Bless up. Bless up. Lion of Yahoo, happy feast. Happy feast. All right, we looking good, man. Let's dive in a little bit of this. Let's show the leaven aspect real quick. You understand? All right, sure. Then let's go to Matthew, the 16th chapter first. Let's pull that on up. Share screen. Hammerhead Hezzy, what's the word, boy? He gonna turn around. All right. Some may be going, why we got to get leaven? I'm like, what's this? You know, it's all symbolic. The Most High never commands you to do something that don't have some type of spiritual significance to it. You know what I mean? He did. And true about this, in this case, there's health benefits to it. You know what I mean?
Physical and spiritual.
Yeah. It's physical and spiritual, right? Okay, let's go to Matthew first. We'll go to Matthew 16. Let's talk about the leaven. Let's talk about the leaven. All right. All right. All right, Matthew 16. We're going to read verse 5 on down to 12. Matthew 16, 5 through 12. All praise and glory and honor.
All praise.
Yeah, keep it funky in this deal. All praises. All praise. Wow. Like that. All right, who got it? Let's eat, brother.
And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take the bread. Then Yahushua said unto them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees.
Right. So on a carnal level, if you thinking literal, we got that problem as a nation. Everything is just literal, surface level. Ain't no digging required. There's no type of work required for spiritual progression. It's just surface level. That's just what it is. And we see the disciples at this moment right here, you know, as we keep reading. For a second, they thought it was all physical, what he was thinking about, you know what I mean, or what he was speaking on. So they forgot to bring the bread. He say, well, you know, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? In their mind, they're like, oh, he's tripping because we forgot the bread. You know what I mean? But he's like, nah, I'm coming on a whole nother higher level. You know what that's about. Knows he specifically called out two religious orders in Jerusalem at that time. The Pharisees, who were claiming they were holy, set apart, and also the Sadducees, you know what I mean, which come from Zadok, righteousness. So you got two factions claiming to be righteous and holy. He did, and here come the Messiah saying, hey, watch out for their leaven. Because Sadducees come from Zadok. You know what I mean? When you read Ezekiel about him supposed to be offering up the sons of Zadok, supposed to be offering up sin offerings in the kingdom, if you want to believe that. You know what I mean? The Pharisees also are the separate ones. Right? And here come the Son of the living power, come the Messiah, the one ordained to come. Right? And he got a problem, not just with the scribes, but with those claiming that they are holy and righteous, right? So he telling them, watch out for their leaven, right? Go ahead.
And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have taken no bread. Which when Yeshua perceived, he said unto them, O ye of little faith.
Oh, ye of what?
Of little faith.
See, so we got to watch the surface level interpretations, taking everything just literal. You know what I mean? Because you could be missing a spiritual gem in it. See, he said what he said so they could receive a spiritual gem. Yeah, not for them to take this thing surface level. We do ourselves a great disservice a lot of times, just hanging on to something that's right there surface level. You feel me? But spiritual progression requires work. You know what I mean? It requires for you to push yourself, challenge yourself. It requires discipline. All right? All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Why reason ye among yourselves? Because ye have brought no bread.
Notice he said, ye of little faith. I ain't got no faith. Tripping off this surface level that hard. Ye of little faith. All right? Go ahead.
Do ye not yet understand, neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000? How many baskets ye took up?
This right here is about what happened in the wilderness. It's a famous story in the Bible about the Messiah feeding raw fish and bread to thousands of people in the wilderness. Nah?
The
raw fish. Okay? Do it say it was cooked?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, how we know it wasn't sushi? You dig? But notice, when he's recounting the miracle that happened, he ain't bringing the fish up. Fish not even brought up. Do you not understand? Neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000 and how many baskets he took up. What a fish is. He bring the loaves up. He don't bring the fish. You know what I mean? That's why some scholars believe that that's a later interpolation, a later addition to the scripture. When you get in the Nazarene, the Gospel of the Nazarenes, you see it was fruit. It was 7 clusters of grapes and some bread. Same miracle, same situation, but the flesh is not there. You see what I'm saying? But even if you didn't want to get into the Gospel of the Nazarenes, ask yourself this: when the Messiah himself is going back over the miracle, why does he never bring up the fish? Facts. Right? And if you get into any of the writings of the early church fathers or the historians of the early church or whatever, you understand? Most of them believe that was a later addition into what was later received as the New Testament. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's a good point, because why wouldn't the Messiah bring the fish up? Right. Fish not even mentioned. A miracle that large, and you don't even bring the fish up. You know what I mean? That's like Israel being delivered out of Egypt, but we don't bring up the Red Sea. Exactly. Right. You forgot to bring that up, brother. Out of all the you know what I mean? All the things. You forgot to bring up that the Red Sea was split and we went through on dry ground. You know what I mean? But the Messiah brought that up. Oh, wait. You see? Come on, Hebrew, let's get it.
Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000 and how many baskets he took up.
See, so he did this miracle. He fed thousands twice in the wilderness, in the desert, right? And when he's recalling it, the fish aren't even mentioned. Fish aren't even mentioned. You gotta ask yourself that they in the desert. So, all right, what you saying? They cooked that fish? Yeah, brother, they cooked it. Why you say that? Oh, because they would have had to cook it. Well, they would have had to take all those thousands of fish to the priest and had that deal gutted lawfully and had to go through the whole ritual before, and then finally cook it before it can be up on their mouth. Right. So if you got the right to claim the fish was cooked, I got a right to claim that according to the law, any flesh that's being eaten got to go through the proper process and slaughtering laws before it can even get up in your whiskers. Yep. You see that? That's why whenever I talk to somebody about that, I always say, "Oh yeah, you talking about the miracle where he fed them raw fish and biscuits." You feel me? And then watch the brother's response or the sister response. No, it wasn't. Oh, let's go read the story. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Because they be like, well, y'all keep saying where it got to be taken over to the priest and the tabernacle, and this ritual got to be done to eat. You know what I mean? But we see situations where the eating is happening in the New Testament, but the actual process is not being brought up. Well, brother, if you can assume they cooked that fish and it's not written down, then I can assume what? That if they are eating dead flesh, if you want to believe that he was feeding them dead flesh, then the law of process, preparation, and slaughter had to be observed as well. If you can say, I assume the fish was cooked, I can say, I assumed it was properly processed, prepared, and slaughtered before it ever ended up in anybody's mouth and juice on any of their whiskers.
You got
Make sense?
Abraham erecting altars and stuff like that, but then you ain't got them doing it.
Right, exactly.
At least, you know.
Come on, man, make it make sense. All right. Verse 11. Go ahead.
How is it that ye do not understand that I spake it not to you concerning bread? That ye should be aware or beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees.
Right, verse 12.
Then understood they how that he bade them not beware of the leaven of the bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees.
You know what he say? So he ain't talking about no bread. He said, watch out for that doctrine, that teaching. You know what I mean? The commands from the scribes and the laws of that. Watch out for all that. You know what I mean? Because all these are leaven or something added. You feel me? And the yeast or the leaven that's added makes the bread rise. Shalom, y'all. It makes the bread rise. You know what I mean? Bless his family. Bless up. Bless up. Let me check the chat real quick. All praise, glory now to the Most High. All praise. All good. All good. Young Shaw in the building. Bless up. He told me you was out of time.
I say he get ready to go out of town.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, I get that letter to him.
Okay.
What up, bro? I do love what you peace. You good? The champ is here. The champ is here.
What's going on, bro?
Good. Yeah, but we had a few of them.
Everybody did it a few times.
We had it a few times.
Okay, great. Malaki, how was it cooked and wasn't it spoiled? I don't even I mean, we're gonna go into the gospel of the Nazarene so we can see exactly. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the fact that you got fish in the desert and you know what I mean?
And we saying that the Messiah is sinless. We also saying that the Messiah kept the law. And we understand the Messiah said not one jot, not what? Right? Shall no wise pass from what? To all be what? So if we're sitting here saying that, then would the Messiah lead you to an unrighteous act? And if that's the case, then he's not the Messiah. And we dare not say that one.
Exactly.
At least we dare not. I can't speak for everybody else.
Oh, wait.
Boy, you ain't got glaucoma no more, boy. Boy, your pulmonary systems and turn ducts are working well.
All right, let me stop this.
It got me too, right on report speed.
Bang, bang, bang.
But see, another thing too we got to pay attention to is Christ is letting them know the doctrine. Now, because we have been studying and looking back into the past and looking and see what doctrine these Levites have received, but not up from the Most High, right? Then it makes sense for the Messiah to jump on the table and jump on the planet and jump on this understanding to learn and say, listen, don't fall after them doctrines. You see what I'm saying? Don't do as they do. These cats is old. Just what it is. Boy, I think I see a gray hair popping up behind that one, boy. Sure, you gonna be 17 with gray hair messing around with that bit of herbs, baby.
You hear me? Bit of herbs, serious, son.
So we just have to be wise, man. The people that, you know, and the people that's up to date are your modern Pharisees and Sadducees and scribes trying to get you back to a death culture.
Yeah.
Because if sacrificing all them animals, eating all that meat, and doing everything according to what you perceive was the Torah law, there should be no need for you to go into captivity. At no space and no time. So what was you doing? Oh, it was idol worship. You know, it's right to say that. Well, you don't say, well, explain how was your idol worship, right? Because you was yielding that food, those meats up to the idols, which we have names. We ain't got to guess. We have names here.
Molech. Shit, the name's a ball.
Balim or Bali. And then, like, we brought up that Hosea too. That was a bag because people didn't, you read it, but that's a future prophecy of dealing with the restoration of Israel. So that means until that future prophecy hits, and we're not in the future yet, guess what? We still got Bali and Balim in our mouth.
That's crazy.
And that's by action. Because what the scripture say? Whatever you yield your members to, that's what you serve. That's what you, come on, man. Even the young brew guy. Whoever you yield your members to, is who you serve. You can't sit there and say, I'm an Israelite. Man, I ain't keeping Christmas, but you over there with the Christmas tree and the rest of your family. What Israelites gonna say? Boy, you going off. Right. You over there keep Christmas. Oh, man, I'm observing Thanksgiving, man. Where you at? Over there playing with Thanksgiving plate. Man, I ain't doing it for that. Bro, you going off. You know you're going off. It was at that moment he knew he messed up.
I know you done messed up, right?
You know you messed up, right?
Just give me a plate on Monday.
Give me a plate. Man.
All right, we're going to the Gospel of the Holy 12 next. The Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 29, the feeding of the 5,000 with 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes, healing the sick. We're going to do chapter 30 and chapter 29 right now. Then we're going to sit on back and fellowship with our beloved brothers and sisters in the building. All right, so you notice in that Matthew 16 how when he went back over the miracle, he didn't bring up the fish, right? Which leads those who really study this thing to the understanding that it was a later interpolation, later addition into the scriptures, like your leaven is an extra additive into dough, so your bread. I mean, you know what I mean, your bread, so your bread can rise, or your dough, so your bread can rise. Right now, watch this. Watch this. Now, the older gospel than your Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John you got in your Bible is called the Gospel of the Nazarene. Now, this is chapter 29. The feeding of the 5,000 with 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes, healing the sick. Now, watch this right out the gate. And the feast of the Passover drew near. Dang, you can't make this up, boy. And the feast of the Passover drew near. And the apostles and their fellows gathered themselves together unto Yahshua and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by ship privately. And the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all cities, and outwent them, and came together unto him. And the Messiah, when he came forth, saw much people, and was moved with compassion towards them. Key word is compassion. You know what I mean? Because they were as sheep having not a shepherd. And the day was far spent, and his disciples came unto him and said, this is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away that they may go into the country round about into the villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat? Yeah, I like this a little taste. All right. He saith unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they said, 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes. 6 loaves. See, what's in the biblical narrative is they had a few pieces of fish and then some bread.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's carrying it around in the desert.
Right. But you got to ask yourself this. Why? Right. Carrying it around the desert. Right. But you got to ask yourself this. Why, when the Messiah go back over, that's a major miracle. You feeding over 10,000 people. If you combine both the events, it was over 10,000 people got fed. You see what I'm saying? Or close to 10,000. So why would he not bring back up the fish?
Because he wouldn't been there. I'm going to tell you another reason too, which we need to look at this a little deeper. The journey that they were on, right? There's no refrigeration system. There is no icebox system. There's no cooler system, right? They would not have been walking around with dying flesh on a person, especially knowing the law. If it's not done within 2 days consumed, you have to burn it. You catch what I'm talking about? So they would not have been walking around with dead flesh on that journey in a dry place in the desert, hollering at people.
Right. Makes sense, don't it?
I mean, it makes sense what I'm saying? You would not be having, and especially if he's Torah observant, he would not be holding that meat for more than 2 days. So the first 2 days of the journey, they would consume it if we saying that, but we know we ain't. There would have been no fish there by the time all the other people got there.
Yeah, who was that cat back in the day used to eat the fish? Heathcliff. Who was that cartoon back in the day?
Heathcliff. He loved that fish.
Kept on fish on dead fish.
They had fish scale.
Fish and then he pulled out his mouth and ain't nothing but the bones.
Straight perfect set of bones.
In other words, why would we think they just got dead flesh on them while they travel?
You wouldn't in that time.
I mean,
you would have ate it at the time of their consumption.
You had dead flesh on you.
No, you wouldn't have had that.
Straight, you got it in your satchel. You got some dead flesh in your satchel. Nah, I want some. Absolutely. Now watch this. He said unto them, how many loaves have ye? How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew they said 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies of 50 upon the grass. And they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by 50s. And when he had taken the 6 loaves and the 7 clusters of grapes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and the grapes also and gave them to his disciples, set before them, and they divided them among them all. Which make more sense in a desert place. You feel me? Than dead flesh. That just makes no sense.
Bread.
Yeah, that makes
carry that on your journey.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to approach a priest with.
Right. Makes sense,
You
don't it?
can run into stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. And they did all eat and were filled. They took up 12 baskets full of the fragments that were left. And he said, you don't remember how many thousand I fed and how many fragments you took up? But he didn't even bring the fish up. See, the fish is in the actual story, but off his own mouth recounting the miracle that he did, fish is not brought up. We get into the older gospel and you see fish was never the miracle.
Right. And then look, if he actually did it, it would have been important enough. This is what I mean. If the bread was important enough to be mentioned, then why wouldn't the fish
be important?
You know?
To make it make sense. Why would he mention? Again, that's like we talking about us being delivered out of Egypt by Moses, but we don't bring up the split of the Red Sea.
Right.
Like how you not bring up the biggest part of the miracle, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you doing leaving out details of the miracle for. Like it really don't make sense.
Fish was probably would be the main course. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right. You got your satchel full of dead fish.
That's gonna stink.
Come on, cuz that don't make sense.
That's real.
All right, now Moses said it took up and the fragments that were left, and they did eat of the loaves and of the fruit were about 5,000 men, women, and children. And he taught them many things. And when the people had seen and heard, they were filled with gladness and said, truly, this is that prophet that should come into the world. And when he perceived that they would take him by force to make him a king, he straightway constrained his disciples to get into the ship, and to go to the other side before him unto the Bethsaida, while he sent away the people.
Peter home.
Verse 10. You said what? Are you sure?
I said he went to Peter's.
Yeah, Bethsaida, him and Andrew from there. And when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. And when evening was come, he was there alone. The ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. The third watch of the night, Yahshua went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahshua spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid. And Peter, Cephas, answered him and said, Master, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to the Messiah. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid and beginning to sink. He cried, saying, Master, save me. And immediately, Yahshua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? For did I not call thee? And he went up unto them into the ship, and the wind ceased. And they were so amazed in themselves beyond measure and wondered. But they considered not the miracle. They considered not the miracle of the loaves and the fruit, for their heart was hard. Right. And when they were come into the ship, there was a great calm. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, of a truth, thou art a son of the Creator. And when they had passed over, they came into the land of Gennesaret and drew to the shore. And when they were come out of the ship straightway, they knew him and ran through the whole region round about and began to carry about beds those that were sick, where they heard he was. And whithersoever he entered into villages or cities or country, they laid the sick in the streets and besought him that they might touch, if it were but the border of his garment. And as many as touched him were made whole. After these things, Yahshua came with his disciples into Judea, and there he tarried and baptized many who came unto him and received his doctrine. Talk to me.
That's tight. Like when we reading this or whatever, like I always think about, dang, what was the stuff that he was teaching them? You know, like when they was just sitting out there, like I wonder how it was, like the scenery, like were they like sitting down and he was like in like
jaws dropped.
Like I just wonder how it always looks, man. And it's like it's just I don't know, it's unexplainable. It's like
bro. It's just like when that truth that's hit you, all of us, everybody in the sound of our voice online and right here. When you hear that truth, it just blow back.
Yeah. Because since like
and then then you start expounding on it. Man, you steady building it. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but like, how would it be to sit
Yeah.
in the presence of the Messiah and have the mystery of the Scriptures just be unfolded right in front of you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You have heard, but I say.
Imagine how confused they probably were. Like,
That's why he said, my doctrine.
Yeah.
But my doctrine is not my own, but he who what? Sent me. Ooh. Also fulfilling what Moses wrote. He who come after me, him you must hearken. Something was going to be different.
Right. And it only makes sense because it's like just how Christ was like to the disciples that they were going to do greater works than him. Moses basically was telling, the people at his time that, look, there's going to be one that's going to be greater than me.
Absolutely. Greater works.
They're going to do greater works. And it's just supposed to trickle down like that. Like, it's like
them great works supposed to pass on.
Yeah.
And again, not throwing no shade on Moses, just what we was talking. We understand what Moses was doing because, again, you got the pressure of a people that have been oppressed for 400. Understand? We got to understand ours. Today we call it PTSD, PSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. We call it all kind of stuff. You got to imagine these people just left harsh captivity with the foot to their neck the day before. Nobody in the wilderness giving them psychiatric, relief and remedies of how to deal with that trauma. Some of them still bleed from the scars from the whips on their backs.
Exactly.
You catch what I'm saying? And so you dealing with a people now that's been snatched away. So you already know you got Stockholm syndrome. I know what that is. You stuck to your master. You attached to him to the point where you apologetic for your master on how he treated you. To the fact that we got stories where they wanted to go back. Oh, this brother's out here to die. And then a rebellion of that size, that many people, on one man and his brother and his sister. You see what I'm saying? So you would have to, if we're going to be realistic, you have to pacify the crowd a little bit.
Right, exactly.
Okay, they doing this.
You dealing with millions of Israelites, bro. You give them like 2 million Israelites.
Yeah, you pacify people.
Like, stop it. There's a lot you got to deal with that.
You know what's crazy too? Like,
everybody ready to kill Moses a couple times. Everybody ready to straight commit mutiny around that deal.
And go back.
You dealing with 2 million hard-headed Israelites, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's why his father-in-law told him, man, you better divvy this up. You better appoint, captains over 50s and 100s.
Exactly. A government.
Better
Set up a government.
Man, it's going to kill you out here with all this.
Could you imagine people running up to him with all kinds of issues?
Exactly.
My woman, my child, my flocks, my property, my land, my space, my tent, my fire, my clothes, my jewelry, my sexual desires.
Exactly.
Oh.
He's like the therapist. And then what's crazy is like how you were saying that they going through it's like this mental, like Israel has never really healed, from that trauma, from even just their hardened hearts, but the stuff that they went through, you know what I'm saying? Like they went through that stuff, and it's like that stuff getting passed down from generations, like when you never really knew the root of the problem.
I forgot what YAH'KI called it. Cellular memory.
Yeah, like
YAH'KI calls it that, where it's literally embedded in your DNA, like in your body.
And Israel has been programmed to reject the prophets because of what they forefathers did. So it's even nowadays, they still ain't. They go through a whole nother slavery,
So again, when we look upon Israel and the slaveries that we encounter, if we moving on the unction that what Moses and Aaron and all them gave us as the totality of perfect law, the scriptures even teach in the New Testament be no need for a Messiah at this point. If that was enough, we should never fall back into captivity again. Because every time we sin, we brought an offering.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We had the ritual now, but we wasn't learning nothing. We wasn't doing something right. What we was offering was being offered to idols.
Yeah. And then
that was a whole tabernacle that was dedicated to a whole nother deity right in our face.
False gods, boy.
And then
why they hit the God body? And body the false gods, Charles, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's your language, body the false
gods. You gotta hit the God body around here, man. What's going on? We gotta shake up something. Oh, that don't sound like the creator, man. What's going on?
And then they never left they never leave feeling complete. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just, you know, you in your mind are convicted like that, you know, you did this sin or whatever. So you go to, you know, kill a bullock or, you know, present a gift or something like that. And it's like, but when you leave, you still have, it's like you still got it on your conscience that like physically it's like, oh, I just, you know, I just got over
that would have taken count.
Exactly. But in your mind, you still like, well, like technically, you don't really, you know, they know it really don't make sense.
It don't
like,
sear your conscience because you can repeat the act.
Exactly. They never felt like complete. So like when the Messiah came, he teaching people how to be whole. He teaching you how to like
take responsibility and be accountable. He told them so many times, go and sin no more.
Exactly.
That means you responsible for everything you do against the Almighty. Go and sin no more unless some words happen to you.
Exactly.
He taught accountability.
Right.
Responsibility. You about to look, every crime every last one of us do against the Almighty, you gotta holler at him about that. You know what I mean? The crazy part is our people do the Messiah's death just like they was doing the animals. You know what I mean?
Don't mean
man,
nothing.
Christ died, man. I'm all
Christ died, I'm
People
good.
forgive me. You know what
I'm
I mean?
good.
Say, come
It's the
first.
blood.
Nigga, I'm back good. I'm cool.
It's the
You know what I
blood.
mean? So you actually on the same mindset you was applying to the animals, you applying to Mashiach. You see what I'm saying? But Mashiach said what? He said what? Yo, go and sin no more, or through prayer, your sins are forgiven.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like nothing innocent even had to die.
Right.
You dig? Just because true repentance, getting good graces with the Almighty is for one, changing your ways, and two, turning away from what you was doing. Right. You know what I mean? And then process of time, the Most High, when he see you serious, you know what I mean? He can grant them forgiveness. Right. You see what I'm saying? So Messiah taught responsibility. Like, go where your accusers at. No, they ain't around there. Well, neither do I accuse you. Right. Go and sin no more. So he let me know, like, look, I know she was you know what I mean? All right, look, I know what it is. Right. You know what I mean? But you got to deal with like, okay, these are the instructions of the Torah of the Messiah that he got from his father. That's why a lot of his judgments and a lot of his breakdowns was different than the people that was adjudicating in his day, the leaders of the nation. Exactly. And they brought the system caught in adultery in the very act. According to the Torah and the scribes, brick her. Her and dude that y'all caught in the very act.
And then like what when you when you sin and you do the sacrifice, right? And it's the symbolic nature of it. Ain't your sins are poured onto that animal, right?
Supposed to be.
Then why would you eat it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, consume it right back.
Yeah, you taking it right back in. I would think.
Right.
You know.
Right. Makes sense. You know, they got the scapegoats, and then they got the one that had to go get hit. But even the scapegoat sent to the wilderness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So our thing is we don't want to get in the habit of falling to the mindset of our forefathers. The way they looked at these sacrifices and the animals and all that is the same way our Messianic brothers are looking at the Messiah's death.
Right.
Know what I mean? YAH'KI, he's sacrificed. He was sacrificed. He was sacrificed for us and all that. But bro, it's still drug dealing, pimping, murder, all that's still going on in Israel.
Right.
So what did this do for your conscience then?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What did it do for the conscience of those who claim they believe? You doing it, look, you going about doing the same exact thing as if he was never murdered. Right. Just like you had the chance to go bring turtle doves, bullocks, or whatever, you know what I mean, to the altar. Then as soon as you see that blood getting sprinkled on that altar and that flesh getting dissected and skinned and processed and thrown up on the altar, you're supposed to be like, dang, I'm supposed to be up there getting handled like that. Not this innocent creature. It's the same with Messiah. You know what I mean? Like it's an innocent man that was murdered on Passover. You feel me? By black-hearted men who was running his nation who were under the vibration of the false gods at the time. Amos said it. You've been serving Molech and Chion. Hosea said it. I'm going to remove the names of Baal out of their mouth. You understand? And these are prophecies that ain't been fulfilled yet. You dig? Isaiah 43. Most High, like, you ain't that what? You didn't bring me no sweet cane and no bullocks and no fat. That wasn't, in other words, everything that you was doing, that wasn't to me. You see what I'm saying? So Messiah taught responsibility and accountability. If you telling the men, several men and women, go and sin no more, that means it's on you.
Right. Exactly.
It's on me. Right? Exactly. You are accountable for what you do against the Almighty. Yes, the Most High is merciful. He is. You understand? But guess what? In order for you to get back in good graces, or us to get back in good graces with him, we got to change our ways and stop doing what we do. You know what I mean? Then he can grant you forgiveness. But you're not about to play with the death of his son like you played with the death of the animals and think it's all good. No, bro, you got an answer for that. You know what I mean? I mean, look, even the New Testament tell you, like, look, if you sin willfully, you're done. There is no more sacrifice for you. They even tell you that in Hebrew. You know what I mean? So, if it's saying that, then at some point, Israel got to take responsibility for what they are doing against the Creator, period. You got to. Every tub got to sit on his own bottom. You ain't just like, oh, yeah, you know, we all was in on that case right there. No. You knew better. You knew it on your way to go do it. You see what I'm saying? But if you're truly remorseful, then guess what? You can change your ways and turn away from the evil that you're doing. Feel me? Through prayer, repentance, and amendment, or through prayer and amendment, meaning change your ways. You can be forgiven. Grab that dough for me. Grab that dough for me.
All Israel would be really all Israel would be really done if it was today. It's like, who can ever say that they ain't never sinned? Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't never sinned with. Like, you know what I'm saying? You did that knowing that it was bad. Basically.
Why is you pointing at your uncle?
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
hey, man. Hey, look, right. He having a conversation like, shalom, family. Shalom, what the deal, brother? I'm dead. Bless. Okay. These sisters right here. I think they would. Hey, you want me to grab chairs in the back? Okay. They gonna have it. Blessings to everybody. Bless up. How y'all doing? Blessings, y'all. Yeah, y'all going right there. She about to grab some chairs for y'all too. All right, y'all. Yeah. Put it all up in there, man. Do your thing. You got the sisters like that one though. Yeah. All right, we all good. Y'all, we got some of our family in the building, our praises. All right, there you go, sis. There you go. Y'all sit on down, do y'all thing. Y'all all good. I got y'all cool over there? I got some more chairs downstairs. You might go put on TV too. Yeah, I'll put on TV real quick. Y'all hold on real quick. We in the gospel of the Nazarene chapter 30.
Peace, man. Peace. What's going on, family? You know what I'm saying? Happy feast. Feast of weeks, man. We here honoring our mighty Messiah, man. Yeshua of Nazarene. You know? I've been growing. I've been elevating. You've probably been seeing me for a minute. Peace. And prosperity, man, from the master in whom I serve. We having fun and feeling with the spirit. I mean, feeling good, guys. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Just trying to get to the point, man, where I can say, I and my Father are one. How y'all doing, though? How y'all doing? I really can't see the chat, but how y'all doing?
God creation can cure science.
Darius, can you say? Talking to him. Feeling good. Getting some things together. Come on, all right, let's go.
All right, man. You gotta read this whatchamacallit. It's election section 30. I done got jumped by boss baby. She's trying to be on my shoulders. Yeah, whatever, little girl. Why you don't go back there with your mama then? Why you gotta be on my back? Huh? There we are. I want no boy there. We got my face. Jump down and get my. Oh, no, right I said it. You wouldn't let me off the gate. I'm like, I ain't saying that much this year.
Woo! Serious business. Yeah, Dino, that's serious, brother. Yes, yeah. Serious business, ain't it? Yeah, that's that bit of herb, man. You know what I mean? Give some of that to your bad children. They get some act right quick. You know, eat some bit of herb, little joke.
Hand on the belt.
First thing I ate was the big one. Like, I always gotta go hard, man, at first, man. Just
all right, let's go ahead and get this going right here, y'all. We in Gospel of the Nazarenes. Gospel of the Nazarenes, chapter 30, the bread of life and the living vine. All praise and glory and honor. You know what I mean? We're gonna do something just real quick today, that way we can have more time to fellowship. You know what I mean? All right. Come on, Dino, sit on down whenever you're ready, brother. Dino, like, man, look, y'all done gave me that bit of herb, brother. Yeah. All right, who got when y'all got on your phones, though? We in the Gospel of the Nazarene. Just read it. What you need, Dino? Wi-Fi. What is my damn Wi-Fi code? Let me see. I think I can figure it out. I think it's. Hold on, y'all. Give us a second.
Lord, I've been herb is something serious. Hey, boys. Hey, these Hebrews over here getting this bit of herb in, boy. It's going down. It's going down in the deal. Ooh. Well, Mally over here killing this boy. That boy done cut up a whole mountain full.
Yeah, boy, you already know.
But yeah, all we really saying is when we come to dealing with, you know, the miracle and everything, you recall those events. Because remember, the Most High was telling us to do what? Call down, remember those righteous acts, those former things. Call them back to memory. You know, that you may marvel, remember, and know that I am, you know, the God of your forefathers. So when we get down here, we get all forgetful, man. But you know what? We've been giving bits and pieces because people scared to look deeper. You can't be surface level with this. You can't be. Oh, Lord have mercy, boy. That bit of herb is wearing me out, y'all.
Yeah, man. You see if this is
Maddie over here trying to break the binary code to the internet. He's trying to get to the black web of the internet. I mean, he's not.
You might hurt yourself.
And just imagine, that's the type of root that you will smash and you get liquid out of. Imagine what the liquid form of that would be.
Like you drinking it.
Get you here, Boy, the last time it was coming out my right ear, I'm like, oh yeah, that'll knock sickness out. Yeah, so the bread of life and the living vine. Bread of life and the living vine. So yeah, we're about to get ready to get it in, y'all. I guess I'll let y'all see me suffer through one more bit of herb eating. I'm trying to find the smallest one left. There we go, Dino. Oh, thank God, Maddie's back. All right, let's get her done, man. Let's get her done. Straight to go. We go into the Gospel of the Nazarene, in chapter 30. We just read chapter 29. We in chapter 39. Then we're gonna read some of that last Passover testimony. The Messiah in chapter 75. We're gonna read how Judas went and snitched on him because he didn't kill a lamb. Chapter 76, that's what got him hit. See, people don't be knowing it. You don't know that Judas went and snitched on him because he didn't kill the lamb. He said, I'm the lamb, you know what I mean? Like, he was there to end everything that, the sacrificial code was doing. He wasn't there to, agree with it and be cohesive. He was there to destroy it. For this purpose was the Son of the Most High revealed that he might destroy the works of the devil. And we read about you sacrificing the Molech and Sheol. We read about the names of Baal are in your lips. We read about who has required you to tread my courts with this. Now, I commanded you not in the days I brought your fathers out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. Was you sacrificing to me for 40 years? So we got in Egypt, then the connected 40 years, and the Most High is saying through his prophets, none of that I command. So when you come to destroy the works of the devil, it's that system.
It's that system. There you go.
Now you get it?
There you
When
go.
come to destroy the works of the devil,
Gotta
it's
be
that sacrificial system.
Gotta be that system because
That's the system that sets you in the captivity.
Think about it. Gotta be that system because that system, as we speak, is destroyed.
To this day.
To this very day. There ain't no type of officiating going on.
He been
no type of
dropping.
temple. That's what he came to destroy. You know what I mean? That whole setup. We call it the sacrificial cult. The whole setup, he came to utterly destroy and abolish it. If you want to say, well, to wipe out all sin, then why is believers sinning today? The bread of life. Okay, so we're in chapter 30, verse 1. Who got it? The bread of life and the living vine. Let's get it.
The day following, the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there had been no other boat there, save the one whereinto his disciples had entered, and that Yahshua went not with his disciples into the boat, but that his disciples were gone alone. And when the people therefore saw that Jesus or Yahshua was not there, neither his disciples, they also took ship and came to Capernaum seeking for Yahshua.
Yeah.
And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, how camest thou hither? Yeshua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, you seek me, not because you saw the miracle, but because you did eat of the loaves and the fruit and were filled.
The loaves and the fruit and were filled. He's like, look, you ain't hollering at me. You ain't here because of the miracles. You here because I fed you. And we gotta be careful with that. Just in your own personal life. Certain people are only around you because you can benefit. You feed them. You know what I mean? But if you don't feed your, like the bruh said, if you don't feed your wolves, they're gonna put you on the menu. You know what I mean? But notice, Pete, certain people are leeches. They just around you just because you fed them. They ain't tripping. It's a miracle that got done. No, because you ate. Because I was able to benefit you. That's the only reason you were around. You ain't around sincerely seeking salvation in the kingdom. You know what I mean? All right, watch this. Let's get it.
Okay. Labor not for the meat which perishes.
Whoa.
But for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man, who is also the child of God, shall give unto you for him that God, the all-parent, seeth.
Exactly. Come on, brother. Verse 3.
Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we may work the works of God? Yahushua answered and said unto them, this is the work of God.
Yeah.
That ye believe the truth.
Come on.
In me, who am, and who give it unto you, the truth and the life.
Flat out. Flat out. You dig, man? If we always had the truth and he is the truth, what was the need for him to come? If Israel was already about the truth, we got the law, statutes, and commandments, brother. That's the truth.
then why did the truth have to come and manifest in the flesh? Obviously, you must have been dealing with falsehood. If you was already operating in truth, why does Messiah have to come? Why do the Creator got to put his words in his mouth to get you to finally understand? I mean, he said that back in Moses' time. You feel me? So you 1,400 years later, Messiah on the scene. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Now we got the law, statutes, and commandments. We already got truth. Huh? What he was teaching was polar opposite of what they received as the truth. He like, look, everything you talking about is talking about me. What you mean? What make you think, that you can wiggle around and go through loopholes and get off on technicalities with the Creator to nerve us? You know what I mean? So the Messiah manifests as the truth, Son of the Most High, right in their face. Right in your face. This is what it is. Right? If again, ask yourself this: if Israel always had the truth, why did the truth have to manifest in the flesh? Obviously, you must be dealing with some type of falsehood, right? Then we can go back to the prophet to see the falsehood. Can we see the Amos saying that I hate your feast days, and that wasn't to me you were sacrificing to, that was to Molech and Sheol. All right, and we got Isaiah saying, look, I don't what are you saying, Isaiah? What's going on, young prince? He like, man, look, I'm out here. That boy wasn't good, baby. My little joker finna be walking just like that in a second. Over. Yeah. Dang, what I'm just saying. Oh, you over reading something. But anyway, if we always had the truth, then what was the need for the truth to manifest in person of Messiah? Think about it. Obviously, we didn't have the complete truth. You know what I mean? Of course, we had aspects. We wasn't dealing in falsehood and totality by saying that. You know what I mean? But obviously, we were missing major aspects of the truth that were vital to our spiritual progression. Vital. Because if it ain't about spiritual progression, what are you studying anything spiritual for? It ain't about spiritual growth and progression. So if we ain't teaching that, we teaching death. Because we teaching spiritual stagnation or spiritual death if we ain't teaching progression, growth. So obviously the Messiah had to manifest as the truth because the nation was missing major parts of the truth that is key to spiritual progression. You know what I mean? They was in bondage up under these men. You dig? Who was securing the bag for they, you know what I mean? Their sons and their sons after them. You see what I'm saying? So for him to say, I'm the truth in a time where these men walk around claiming they already got the truth, that's conflict. There's going to be a problem. You know that. Eventually, it's a head-on collision coming. You know what I mean? Watch this. Come on, where we at?
They said, therefore, unto him, what sign showest thou then that we may see and believe you?
Right.
What doest you work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written. He gave them bread from heaven to eat.
So here our people come tell us, well, what sign do you show? Mind you, he just did a miracle and fed thousands with 7 clusters of grapes and a few loaves of bread, correct? Then he said, you only hollering at me not because of the miracle, because I fed you. So these same people who got fed forgot the miracle that just happened. They forgot it. Then they say, oh, well, what sign you show? Our fathers ate manna. You just ate. You know what I mean? Now think about it. In the desert or in the wilderness, you just got bread too. Like your forefathers got bread in the desert. You see what I'm saying? It's basically the same type miracle. You just got the same thing that happened to the forefathers, but you done forgot you asked this man for a sign when he just gave you one. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. How quick we forget. Right? So look at this. What we at? Verse 5. Go ahead.
Then Yahushua said unto them,
come on.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not the true bread from heaven, but my parent giveth you the true bread from heaven and the fruit of the living vine.
Come on.
For the food of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life into the world.
You see that? So he said, Moses gave you not the true bread from him, but my Father. You know what I mean? Giving you the true bread from heaven and the fruit of the living vine. For the food of the Creator is that which cometh down from heaven and giveth life into the world.
You're not even talking. I'm saying the God was the gospel. That was talking about Messiah himself being
Absolutely. Absolutely. Watch this. Go ahead. Where we at?
Yeah, okay. For the food of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Master, evermore give us this bread and this fruit. And Yahushua said unto them, I am the true bread. I am the true bread. I am the living vine. They that come to me shall never hunger, and they that believe on me shall never thirst. And verily I say unto you, except you eat the flesh and drink the blood of God, you have no life in you. But ye have seen me and believe not.
You know that's about to make somebody go crazy that's surface level. You mean eat God's flesh and drink his blood?
God was a spirit.
You know what I mean? Like, but as you keep reading, even in John, he tell you, look, the flesh profits nothing. I'm speaking spiritual. The words I speak are life and they are spirit. You know what I mean? So he's talking about taking on his teaching. That's doctrine. You know what I mean? What I teach, you chew on that, and then you bring that out to the world. He told Ezekiel the same thing. Open up your mouth and eat this roll. Eat what I give you. But it was a book. He told me it was sweet in his mouth at first, and then it became bitter in his stomach. Like, dang, because the word is sweet and bitter.
Right.
You know what I mean? The word is sweet and bitter.
Truth is
sweet and bitter. That's what it is. All right. So that's not talking about literally, because if that's literal, then we done. Because ain't no way in the world you can fillet the back of God. You know what I mean? And you put an IV in his vein and drink his blood. All right. So he got exactly. Sound weird, don't it? But see, but you did remember you're dealing with surface level brews who say that this is pushing cannibalism. You know what I mean? But as you keep reading, he gonna tell you what the foods you're supposed to be eating and everything. You know what I mean? Come on, let's get into
it. Then said they unto him, 7. All that my parent hath given unto me shall come to me, and they that come to me I will in no wise cast out.
Come on.
For I came down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of God who sent me.
So the will of the Creator who sent, the Messiah was sent. He said, well, I'm here on a mission. You understand? I'm here as the example to show you how to properly serve and reverence the Creator. Messiah is the example. And there's plenty of times in history where, you know, man is in darkness and he needs a savior or a helper to assist him in raising up. You know what I mean? To assist him in raising up and serving and walking in the true light. You know what I mean? Why you think even in Obadiah it says, and you know, saviors with a plural shall come upon Mount Zion. You know what I mean? So yes, the Messiah is the example sent by the Creator, his Father. You understand? And if anything ever sounds confusing about what we're saying, all we saying is this: if you really want to serve the Creator, follow the teachings of the Messiah. You know what I mean? His teachings is different though than what you may think. Like men been trying to mingle what he been saying, and they ain't been reading them all the way through. I mean, a lot of things, the judgments he gave on what they were saying, his breakdown, it was totally different. You know what I mean? And the brothers who don't believe in him, they've always said that. Like I see what you're saying, you know what I mean? Because he had Passover and, you know, he was a Hebrew and all that. But it seemed right here like he's saying something opposite of what Moses was saying. And you just got to be real with yourself. He is. You know what I mean? Now, it's the brothers that try to like make everything fit that say, no, he said the same exact thing that Moses said. That's not true, bro. Stop lying. He didn't. Stop lying. He gave a different judgment on certain laws y'all had written down. Yeah. It's written in your law. It say this. It says in your law that the testimony of 2 witnesses is true. Huh? Well, if he called them God to whom the word of God came, then you know what I mean? The word of God can't be broken. I said ye are gods. It's written in your law. I said ye are gods. I'm saying, like, so I mean, his teachers were so radical. Why y'all think like almost every other scene they were trying to stone him? He did, because what he was saying was radical to them. Like, bro, you was blaspheming around here. What is you doing? You know what I mean?
We reading this stuff, you know, later on. But you gotta imagine, like, they right there in front of this man. Like, we read his teachings, and we can go back and read his teachings, but they got this stuff replaying in their minds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What Christ was saying. You know, they right there, and when he said it, it was like, it's so simple, bro. Like, the stuff that he was saying was like it was very profound but simple.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what shows you that it don't take like big fancy words, or you know what I'm saying? Like, he was relating to his people, you know what I'm saying? Like the things that even the way he expressed like how to get to the Father was through like things that they already knew. You know, his people already knew it. They were accustomed to it, you know? And I feel like that, of course, he was on something way different than what they was on, you know, but he had to make it relate to them through their culture.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what a parable is. You know, you got to make it relate. And you should always be able, especially if you understand complex things, like the proof that you really understand is if you can break it down in simple terms where a 5-year-old can understand it. If you can't do that, you just a walking encyclopedia. If you're saying big word, anthropomorphisms and, you know what I mean, reverse osmosis, and you're like, brother, what the hell is all that? You know what I mean? If you can't break down something complex into a simple term to where the average brother and sister can understand it, receive it, and take that information to impact their lives to do righteousness, then, bro, you just sound smart. You know what I mean? A certified mechanic can break that motor down. You know what I mean? He just don't know the word carburetor, engine block. You feel me? He can point to the carburetor right there. There's your engine block right there. Her past that 5/8 right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, even a mechanic got to know how to break down that motor into its simple, basic parts and components. Right? It's the same thing with any teacher of the spirit. You should be able to relate spiritual matters to what they see in the physical in so simple terms that they can understand. Feel me? And that's something right there where something is so simple, but it's complex.
Yeah.
Now that's crazy, right? That's wild. It's simple, but it's complex. You see what I'm saying? But he there to break it down for you to understand it and be empowered by it. That's the point.
He is true.
Yeah.
He's true. And it's like he is the truth. But I'm saying, like, that's what he stands for. So if he said, I am the truth, then it's like, because he stands for truth. So anything that come out of his mouth, it's like, it's gonna be simple, but it's always gonna be complex because that's what the truth is.
Exactly, bro.
You know?
And he's there for you to understand it because, again, it's about you growing, right? Progressing. You know what I mean? Where we at? Verse 7?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All that my parent hath given unto me shall come to me, and they that come to me I will in no wise cast out. For I came down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of God who sent me. And this is the will of God who hath sent me, that of all which are given unto me, I should lose none, but should raise them up again at the last day.
Right. Hold on. We go to the next page. All right, let's eat. They back there kicking.
Boy, they back there kicking.
Brothers of Zion back there kicking. I already knew it. All right, go ahead.
The Jews then murmured and said at him, because he said, I am the bread which comes down from heaven. And they said, is this not Jesus, the son of Joseph and Mary, whose parentage we know?
That was in, what is it, Mark 6 or something like that? Or man, it's in Matthew too. They like, man, we know this dude.
Right.
What is you on?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
What is you on? We know you. That's Lil Willie in them. You know what I mean? That's Lil Willie, little boy. Yeah. He didn't have a visitation. You know what I mean? He's been anointed from on high. To, help, shed light on this darkness. Yeah, but later for what you know about him, I know this little snotty nose. That's Roscoe. Roscoe, Martin.
Roscoe, Pico, Train, even further back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Roscoe Martin.
So they saying we know him. All right, this old boy. All right, go ahead.
says,
How is it?
How is it then that he says that I came down from heaven?
See, so in their mind, they like, this cat is blaspheming. This is too radical. You know what I mean? Because we know his parents. What you mean you came down from heaven?
Do you not know heaven is within?
Yeah, exactly. It did. So they like, so again, when you slow down, you realize how really radical the Messiah teaching was in his day. Because trip on how much they were trying to kill him, throw him off cliffs, stone him. You know what I mean? Catch him up in his talk. Dang. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let's make it happen. Come on.
Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur ye not amongst yourselves. None can come to me except holy love and wisdom draw them. None can come unto me unless except holy love and wisdom draw them. And these shall rise at the last day. It is written in the prophets. They shall be all taught of God. Every man, therefore, that have heard and have learned of the truth comes unto me.
Yeah, see? Come on, brother.
Not that anyone has seen the holiest at any time, save they which are of the holy.
Come on.
They alone see the holiest. Verily, verily, I say unto you, they who believe the truth have everlasting life.
Oh, they who believe the truth have everlasting life, brothers. Let's jump down to chapter 70. We're about to read about the Passover.
That was tight.
Nazarene perspective, you know what I mean? Read a couple of these, and then we're going to dedicate the rest of the time to fellowship with the brothers and sisters, all right? We're going to jump down to chapter 75. My bad, y'all. Chapter 75, and I believe chapter 76, because that's about how Judas betrayed him. When he snitched on him because he ain't killed a lamb for Passover. And the priest was pissed. Like, what else do you need to hear? He breaks the law. Dang, cuz. Like that. All right, so this right here is chapter 75 of the Gospel of the Nazarenes, the last Passover supper. All right, let's get it. Who got it? You got it? Let's go. Let's get it, brother. Oh, praise.
Okay. And that evening, the master cometh into the house, and there are gathered with him the 12 and their fellows, Peter and Jacob and Thomas and John and Simon and Matthew and Andrew and Nathaniel and James and Thaddeus and Jude and Philip.
What's going on, bro?
And their companions.
Here you go. Here you go. Yeah. Right on, bro. Appreciate it. Let's get it.
Okay.
Start with verse 1 again.
Verse 1, okay. And in the evening, Yahushua came into the house, and there were gathered with him the 12 of their fellows, Peter, Jacob, Thomas, John, Simon, Matthew, Andrew, Nathaniel, James, Thaddeus, and Philip, and their companions. And there were also Judas Iscariot.
See how your voice dips.
And there was.
See how his voice dips.
This man is a narrator.
Like this snitch. We already know what he gonna do. Hi, heads, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, but why we ain't call him out a long time ago? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Judas Iscariot, who by men was murdered with the 12, numbered with the 12, to the time when he should manifest his destiny.
Come on.
And they were all clad in garments of white linen, pure and clean. For linen is the righteousness of the saints.
All praises.
And each had the color of his tribe. But Yahushua was clad in his pure white robe, all over, without seam or spot.
Fly, baby. Yeah, you know what I mean? What you talking about, baby? Come on out.
And there arose contention among them as to which of them should be esteemed the greatest. Wherefore he said to them, he that is greatest among you, let him be as he that does service.
That's right. We all need to learn that and take that with us. It's all about service done unto others. That's how you get graded. Only thing you taking with you when you pass over. Right? You know what I mean? You ain't taking none of your material possessions. You ain't taking definitely none of your clothes or your money and none of that.
Yep.
What you taking is your spiritual character, your spiritual grade. You graded off the righteous service you do unto others. Did I? Dang, son. I probably did. Yeah, I did, bro. Good catch. Hold on. I got you. This computer be tripping sometimes. There you go.
This stuff is so amazing, bro.
Yeah, so it's all about you get graded. A lot of people don't understand that, but the reason why the emphasis was always on works of righteousness or service done unto others is because that's what you graded on. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. I mean, you get rainwater, you know, sunlight, things grow from the earth.
Right.
Service and righteous due diligence is done to you by your very Father.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So how much more should you do to His creation?
Exactly. So service done unto others.
It is the way. It's
Right. That's your grade, though. See, a lot of people don't understand you're getting graded. See, think about it. Books are open, all right? And you got to be found in the book of life or you in the other book and all that, bro. It's just like school. You're being graded. You know what I mean? Think about it. So, you know, you can't be right here having these little these D's and F's. And, you know, you shouldn't be satisfied with no C's. Average 2.0. You got all C's. You know what I mean? You should be aiming for them A+. So every day when you walk about that door, you should be looking to do some type of righteous service for somebody. It could be a complete stranger. Sometimes it could be just a prayer over the situation. Like, man, it's a car accident right there. I send a spirit of healing and confidence to that whole situation while you drive. You know what I mean? Or being whatever it may be. It could be something as small as helping the elder sister across the street with the grocery bags.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or just calling the brother because he was on your mind, like, bro, let's get a prayer for you. See what I'm saying? Like, sincere, righteous service done unto others that don't need nobody bragging about it. You know what I mean?
Not for a clap.
You're being graded, though. You see? So now you kind of gauge yourself, like, okay, let me make sure I ain't turning my nose up at somebody like the homeless that's out here begging or something. You know what I mean? And bring a solution to him. I mean, you may be tired of giving them bird money, you know. Well, how about we show him how to get his own money then?
Exactly.
See, the greatest service you can do is not just help him, but show him how to help himself.
Yeah.
See, when you show a man how to help himself, now he's able to go do the same thing with the next brother that need raising up, or the next sister that need raising. That's the greatest work you can do. Not just help him, show him how to help himself. That way he can raise up and help others. Yeah, trip on this, y'all. You're being graded. We read the Bible all the time. And we see judgment, and we see books open, and we see depart from me. We see all these things happening, and we ain't realizing, bro, I'm being graded. You know what I mean? Now, if you trip off it in that fashion, then you trip off these nations, like so-called heathen nations, or whatever. Or individuals out these heathens, bro, they got low spiritual grades, bro. You know what I mean? Them heathens that was lynching and raping our brothers, our fathers, and our mothers, bro, they got a very, very low spiritual grade. You know what I mean? So you can kind of gauge yourself every day based off the righteous work done on the others. You know
Don't get your whole paper thrown away. Don't get to throwing telling everybody what you done did.
No, you ain't
you ain't get no grade at all. That's what you got.
Yeah, you ain't do all that, but purpose yourself to bless and heal somebody when you get about that door every day. All right, come on, bro. Let's finish it.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Then Judas, the newest member, who had not yet been fully initiated.
No. Are you in verse 1?
4? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, that's good. Verse 3. And there arose contention among them as to which of them should be esteemed the greatest. Wherefore he said to them, he that is greatest among you, let him be as he that does serve.
That's right. 4.
Then Judas, the newest member, who had not yet been fully initiated in the mysteries, asked, "Well, will you have us prepare the Passover?" Yahushua answered, What I desire with desire at this Passover to eat flesh with you before I am to institute the memorial of my oblation for the servants and salvation of all.
I'm for sure. Yeah, it reads a little different on there. I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, for sure.
Go ahead.
For behold, the hour approaches when the Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of traitors.
Verse 5.
And one of the 12 said to him, Yahushua, is I? And he answered, he to whom I give the sop, the same is he.
Verse 6.
And Iscariot said to him, Yahushua, behold the unleavened bread.
Come on.
The mingled wine.
The mingled wine. Go ahead.
What is this? And the oil and the herbs.
The oil and the herbs. The bitter herbs, Southern Judah. You know what I mean? The bitter herbs, you know. Go ahead.
But where is the lamb that Moses commanded?
Good question. It's the same question we get. Where that lamb at? Y'all talking about y'all keep Passover. Moses commanded the lamb. Where the lamb at, man? You did. Go ahead.
For Judas have bought the lamb, but Yahushua forbidden that it should be killed.
He forbidden that it should be killed. You see that? So he straight said, nah, we ain't killing no lambs. We ain't killing no lambs. Now watch this. Go ahead, brother.
And John spoke in the spirit, saying, behold the lamb, the good shepherd, which give his life for the sheep. And Judas was troubled at these words, for he knew that he should betray him.
Come on.
But again, Judas said, Yahushua, is it not written in the law that a lamb must be slain for the Passover within the gates?
Hey, straight up. Go ahead.
And Yahushua answered, you have walked with me even this short time, and yet ask me this? If I am lifted up on the cross, then indeed shall the lamb be slain.
So he's saying he's the lamb. You know what I mean? So he knew he was about to be murdered on Passover. It's murder. That's innocent blood, that shit. Murdered. The sinless prophet was murdered. Let's just keep it real.
He never agreed with what Christ was teaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never really understood.
Well, he wasn't fully initiated.
Right.
He wasn't even fully all the way in on the mysteries and all that anyway. You know what I mean? Like he was almost like a new cat.
Exactly.
Around. You know what I mean? Like get your mans in there. Who vouched for this? You brought him around? You know what I mean? Somebody had to bring him around. Who brought him around? You did? All right, go ahead.
But woe to him by whom it is delivered into the hands of the slaves.
Exactly. Go ahead.
It was better for him had not been born.
Come on.
Verily I say unto you, for this end have I come into the world.
Come on.
That I may put away all blood offerings and the eatings of flesh of the beasts and the birds that are slain by men.
Can somebody grab me 1 John 3 and 8? Or that may be verse 9. For this purpose was the Son of the Most High revealed or manifested that he may destroy the works of the devil.
Is that grade 8?
Yep. Read that for me. 1 John. Yep.
He that committed sin is of the devil.
Good night. Boom.
For the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose was the Son of YAH was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil.
Read that verse 9 again for me, Roddy Rob.
Verily I say unto you, for this end have I come unto the world.
Come on.
That I may put away all blood offerings and the eating of the flesh of the beasts and the birds that are slain by men.
Harry, can you read that again for me again?
He that committed sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning.
Come on.
For this purpose, the Son of YAH was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil.
Can you read that for me again, Roddy Rob?
Verily I say unto you, for this end have I come unto the world, that I may put away all blood offerings and the eatings of the flesh of the beasts and the birds that are slain by men.
Now you know what the works of the devil are. See how that correlate? Now you see what it is.
And then the average surface level Israelite tell you that the sacrifices are gone. But then they don't know what is meats offered.
You say
to
cutter butter.
You're right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but the surface level Israelite tell you that the sacrifices are gone. Right? So they recognize at surface level that the officiating of the altar it's over with. You really have no permission to eat meat. You really don't.
Oh, we got to follow all the laws, just not to sacrifice.
Well,
I
you
don't
know, no, that's okay because your food is a peace offering. Did you know that?
Right.
And it must be handled, prepared,
Right.
and officiated at the altar.
Yes, sir. Sacrifice, brother.
So if it can't be officiated at the altar, then you can't eat it.
Yep.
You ain't got to officiate grapes and grains. You ain't got to officiate unleavened bread or leavened bread. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got to officiate herbs at the altar. And then you're going to say, well, man, you going too hard. But then, once you go to Maccabees, then. Don't the book of Maccabees say the same thing?
Look, how you think the Christians feel? You going too hard.
Hey, look, hey, you got on them about pork, we on you about the rest of the meat. So, I mean, what you going to do? Because even we have an example in the scriptures, even if you don't adhere to everything else we read, right? You can't deny because most of y'all believe in the apocrypha. Them 3 years wars was waged on herbs continually. No meat. Because the priest couldn't officiate in the office at the altar because all of them were defiled and had pig's blood. You see what I'm saying? So since they know they couldn't officiate the altar, they couldn't eat the meat. Christ perfectly came, rent the curtain. You can go into the Holy of Holies because the Ark of the Covenant wasn't even in there. Yep. So now you have full access. Matter of fact, let me make sure you got this all the way together. Let me destroy that temple. You know what the Most High lay something down, it's down. Right. Egypt still a dust bucket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Sodom and Gomorrah is still a dust bucket. Right. Israel, where the temple was, and all that, dust bucket. That's what I'm saying. When he completely ends it, he ends it.
Sure do.
It's a done deal.
Where we at, first 10?
Yes, indeed.
Go ahead.
In the beginning.
And when?
The beginning.
Bereshit. Go ahead.
The Creator gave to all the fruits of the trees and the seeds and the herbs for food.
Back there again, ain't it?
Go ahead.
But those who love themselves more than the Lord or their fellows corrupted their ways.
Come on.
And brought diseases into their bodies.
Come on.
And fill the earth with lust and violence.
See, a lot of people don't understand that the dead flesh inflames your blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It makes you real acidic. Acid. You see what I'm saying? And through that, guess what? The diseases start coming. 90% of the diseases is foodborne. I mean, they got to do with what you are eating, what you are putting in your body. You know what I mean? Close to 90% of your quote-unquote immune system, if you want to call it that, is in your gut. It's in your gut. So this is how you bring diseases into your bodies, because you love yourself more than you love the Creator or His creation. You see that? And then you look up and you start hearing what the brother told me. Nigga, we hungry. They ain't sacrificing no more.
Everybody was angry with it, boy. Nigga, we hungry.
You know what I mean? Like, well, we ain't sacrificing no more. What you eating the flesh? But nigga, we hungry. Hey, all right, brother. Say it like you mean it.
Right. No.
Thank you.
All right, say it like you mean it. Yeah, that stuff, it heats your blood up, man. You know what I mean? And you start being acidic. When it comes down to the pH scale, you're acidic.
Mm-hmm.
And all type of, I mean, what you think inflammation is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Inflammation, the swelling, but it comes from acid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, we got uric acid, which is called gout in your joints.
So you telling me to put away the meat, we get rid of gout?
Absolutely.
All diseases are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Joints.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Muscle.
Any of it.
Wow.
Any of it. And Messiah is saying it 2,000 years ago, right?
Well, YAH'KI and Sebi already on.
With Sebi, Dr. Leilala, Africa, you know what I mean? And then our young gunner YAH'KI passed 5-6 years. You know what I mean? He knew to the whole healing thing. Them brothers been doing that since the 70s, telling you look, you're supposed to be eating that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he's picked up and even, continued even greater than their footsteps.
Yes, indeed.
You see what I'm saying? All right, come on, Hebrew, let's get it.
And fill the earth with lust and violence.
That's right. Nigga, we hungry. I feel the earth with lust and violence. That's what he told me. Y'all know what I'm talking about too. He told me, nigga, we hungry. That's why we about to eat this chicken. I said, okay, brother. Say it like you made it. You know what I mean?
Boy, we was getting a breakdown. The chicken was getting passed around.
Man, come on. Good. All right, go ahead.
Not by shedding innocent blood, therefore, but by living a righteous life shall find you peace.
Do y'all hear this? See, it ain't. See what he teaching? You can't say because something innocent died, whether it was an animal or whether it was man, that now you gotta, a get out of jail free card with the Most High. But not by shed innocent blood, therefore, but by living a righteous life. Can you find the peace of the Creator? Go ahead.
Walk in the way, and you shall find the Most High. Seek truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right.
Live in the life, and you shall see no death. All things are alive in the spirit of the Creator, who fills all things.
All things are all His creation.
The breath of life is in His creation.
His law is encoded in His creation.
That's right.
And all things living is the Torah written. And them plants and them trees and you and them animals and that grass and them flowers and them herbs. If it's living, it's coded. It's encoded with the commandments or the Torah of the Creator. It's encoded in it. All right, go ahead.
Keep the commandments. Love the Lord with all your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself.
Absolutely.
Even all living things. On these hang all the law and the prophets. And the sum of the law is this: do unto others as you would that others should do unto you.
That's the whole breakdown of it. You understand? You got to treat others the same way you want to be treated. Period. Point blank in the story.
Yep.
You understand? Again, we being graded. We're being graded, y'all. Remember that. You want to show up with no bad report card.
You don't want to come up shout.
All right, go ahead.
Blessed are they who keep this law, for the Creator is manifest in all creatures, and all creatures live in the Creator.
There it is.
Y'all see that?
Everything's could you imagine? Now we all sit here and we say, we read in Enoch and how, Cain killed Abel and his soul petitioned the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because that blood was shed. Now, how much more now that the code is in those animals' blood? Listen, even I read this, you go to Ecclesiastes, it tells you. I keep bringing this up because, bro, it's in your basic KJV. Even if you come off, even if you don't want to go in depth, it's already in the book. Right. You already hold to be that deal. Bro, how much blood you think is crying out to the Most High from them animals for your life, for what you did to them?
You do error not knowing the scripture. It's so many ways you can look at that. Like, you do error not knowing the scripture, like you misinterpret what the scripture means, or like you don't realize that it's falsehoods. You know what I'm saying? Like it's,
Or imagine what your body count gonna get that day. Yeah. Well, you sit up there, Lord, I'm good. Boy, they say, boy, you got 9 billion animals under your belt. Boy, that's when that weeping gnashing teeth gonna kick in. Oh, I just had a pork chop before I left Earth.
Hey, that's not shit.
Boy, I just had a pork chop.
But my spirit left Earth.
Boy, I had a lamb tartare. Boy, I had me a steak rare. Boy, I remember sitting in the restaurant. Next thing you know, I'm hearing judgment. Let me roll your scroll out. Boy, look, you got to understand, it's going to be something that's going to have you convinced that you thought you was on point. And when you get there, and that book is open, and that thing is being read in that book, and you see them charges flip out on the person in front of you, and you know what you said?
He said,
I was worse than him. We was just in the same club when we both got shot up. And I just see what happened to him. Weeping, and that boy, the spiritual enamel knocked off your teeth.
Remember that little Boondock show? He was talking about Big Mama. Big Mama. He was like, what they he said that this is not soul food. He was like, now what soul food is about It's about the Big Mama, a lady named Big Mama, basically making all type of food or whatever every Sunday or whatever, and then having to get together. Then she had to go to the hospital, all things wrong with her, get a leg cut off and all that. He said, what these fools do after she died? They go back to eat the same food that just killed Big Mama.
Yeah.
Man, that's buffoon.
Insanity.
All right, where we at, bro? I just had to.
Verse 15. All right, let's get it. You all caught up?
Yeah, I'm good.
After these things, Yahushua dipped the sop and gave it to Judas Iscariot, saying, what you will do quickly. He then, having received the sop, went out immediately, and it was night. And when Judas Iscariot had gone out, Yahushua said, now is the Son of Man glorified among his 12? And the Master is glorified in him. And verily I say unto you, they who receive you receive me, and they who receive me receive the Most High who sent me. To you who followed me in the regeneration of the elect, I appoint a kingdom as the same has been appointed to me. And you who have been faithful to the truth shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Come on.
And one said to him, Yahushua, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? And Yahushua said, my kingdom is not of this world, neither are all Israel which are called Israel.
Absolutely.
They are those in every nation who defile not themselves with cruelty, who do righteousness, have mercy, love, and reverence all the works of the law, who give succor to all that are weak and oppressed.
Come on.
The same are the true Israel.
Right. So you can find that spirit. He's saying you can find that spirit in every nation. You know what I mean? Even though there's nations out here that are blood hungry and got blood in their mouth and on a path of destruction, you may find individuals in every nation who has a spiritual inclination to serve the Creator. You know what I mean? Generally cool people that don't want no type of harm. Think about it. What the hell a Buddhist done did to you? When the last thing we talk about heathens here, you know, when we talk about our enemy, we talk about the so-called white man because of our history here with them. But there are other nations who are very, very peaceful. They think about it. What the one people with the dots in the middle of their head? Yeah, the Hindu. Like, I mean, they may be off with their idolatry and all that, of course. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like they're peaceful people. Right. You know what I mean? Like, they don't wish no harm to you. They ain't out here to shoot you down in the street. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of it's a lot to reconsider. You understand? Because the spirit of the Creator is in every nation, meaning there are individuals in every nation that has an inclination to serve the Most High in sincerity, despite what they people are. You know what I mean? Like, my granddaddy may be an evil bastard, but I ain't on that. You know what I mean? Now that's just what it is. I mean, but that takes for each individual to study somebody's spirit when they run across them. You know what I mean? You know when somebody's spirit is off, whether they one of us or they not. My spirit off. I don't even want to be. It's some bros I can't be around. Man. What kind? It'd be cool to see him every once in a while, bro. What's up, man? Good. But if I'm around them too much, it's gonna go sideways. Because it's still real corner and rah-rah and you know what I mean? Nah, bro. You look up, we be out here catching the fade in the parking lot. Catching the fade. Like, dang, we won't be peaceful. I'm just saying, be real with it, man. You did. Was you done with that one? Was you done with that one?
Yep.
Okay, we're finna jump right over to where Judas Iscariot snitched on him, and then we gonna get on up out of here. All right, we're gonna pray out. Y'all find a psalm for us to pray on out in. Then we all good, and then we gonna come on back, you know. Maybe tomorrow we get into it again a little more. Just a little bit here, a little bit there. Get it done. I just want to fellowship with the brothers. I know everybody got to get up in the morning too.
Oh yeah, my 10 hours.
You over here yawning. That's why I'm trying to get done with this. Here you go. Here.
About to look good, boy. That little corner right there got big on me written on it.
All right, here it goes. It's the next chapter, chapter 76. Next chapter, and we gonna end it right here.
Gotcha.
Sincerely, they go.
All right.
Start at verse 25. We read it out.
And when all had partaken, he said to them, as often as you assemble together in my name, make this oblation for a memorial of me. Even the bread of everlasting life.
See what's supposed to be on the table. Go ahead.
And the wine of eternal salvation.
Come on.
And eat and drink thereof with a pure heart.
Pure heart. Be sincere around it, man. Pure heart, pure mind.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Go ahead.
And you shall receive of the substance and life of the master.
You see that?
Which also dwells in me.
Look at that. So he's telling you, like, remember this, they at the last Passover or whatever. There was some feet washing that went on there too. And then he like, look, wine, and it's mingled wine. It's like watered down wine. You know what I mean? They got the unleavened bread. They got the herbs there. And then that's what it is. You know what I mean? That's how he got down. It wasn't no look, even in the authorized King James version, you don't got him eating lamb at the last supper. Passover.
No. But
Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John show me where he was eating the lamb. You don't even see it. You know what I mean? Boss baby, what is you doing? Boss baby.
Y'all go upstairs.
What you doing?
He over there with his.
All right, y'all keep it down.
People just assume that that's what he did because that's the culture of it.
That's the culture of the people.
It's just like they assumed that it was 3 wise men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
All
like
the fruit.
These things, exactly. And these things that they come up with, you know, and
And if you think about it, it's like you put in the lamb. They put in the lamb, like you said, just for culture or whatever. But Passover don't necessarily have to mean lamb. It just, you know what I'm saying? It's synonymous for the same thing as Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Literally passing over. They was coming out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. But it's right there. But you equate that to, you know what I'm saying? Well, if he ate the Passover, he ate the lamb. You know what I'm saying? But then you got him giving the bread and the blood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And sweet, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing was a changeover to from what they were at first. You know what I'm saying? Now they're ultimate spiritual teachers. Like, you know, it was you know what I'm saying? They crossed over, you know, or passed over.
Absolutely. Let's finish it. Verse 26.
And when they had sung a hymn,
that's right,
Yahushua stood up in the midst of his apostles, and going around him who was their center, as in a solemn dance, they rejoiced in him. And then he went out to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed.
Verse 27. Here comes the Judas Chronicles.
Now Judas Iscariot had gone to the house of Caiaphas, and said unto him, behold, he had celebrated the Passover within the gates with the matzah, and
which is the unleavened bread, the matzah. Go ahead.
With the matzah in place of the lamb.
Look at that. Hey, same thing we do. Same thing we doing. And men got blood in their mouth. Y'all sinning, y'all blaspheming, y'all going off. You know what I mean?
Lamb chops.
Man, bro, I talked to one of the ops yesterday. I'm just keep it real with y'all. Talking about right before some of y'all got her, and first thing he said, he was like, "Bruh, I know we been supposed to did something because you called us all out last year. You did." I'm like, "Yeah, I've still been waiting. Like, what's up?" You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. He one of the main ones that put a battery in everybody's back. But I talked to him yesterday. The first word off his mouth was, we supposed to been did something, man. You know what I mean? You called us out last year. Offer still stands. Like, okay, yeah, I know, man. Maybe I can, get he named a couple more brothers, you know what I mean? And I'm like it don't matter. I'm coming by myself. Like it don't even matter. You know what I mean? But the fact that you're about this, my first conversation with him, the first words off his mouth, I ain't talking this cat about a year. You did. He straight said off his mouth, "Yeah, I know. You called us out, and ain't none of us take the bait." All right, well, the offer still stand. I ain't camera shy. We can do it publicly, or if you camera shy, we can do it privately. So it went from that to, we can just have a cordial discussion.
But that person ain't camera shy, so
That's funny even to hear that. No. He is if he by himself. He can't stand on his own.
No, he can't.
Can't stand on his own. You know what I mean? Like he'll get on camera with about 10 other brews. You know what I mean? Coming against me. Yeah, let me say something too. But if it's a head up fade in the spirit, no. Or even if it's just 3 of them. Like, don't for whatever. Like, look, let me come present what I need to present. I'll take questions and all that. Let's get it. But the fact that he opened up his mouth and said, you called us out. You called us to the mat and ain't none of us come. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get something done so that the officer will stand over this way. You know what I mean? But that's been eating them up a whole year. Like, dang. You know, and that's just one cat. They all know they've been called to the mat. What's up? What's up? You know what I mean? What about the false prophet that said we always gonna die from COVID to catch COVID or something? Come on, it's a whole nother year now. Where's the little gay girl over in Israel? We all supposed to catch COVID. She said, wait a minute, I'm about to prophesy. What she say, you saw? What she say? What she say, girl?
She said, I'm about to prophesy. Out of nowhere, she like, I'm about to prophesy.
Yeah.
These brothers gonna have their whole congregation gonna have COVID by the end of this year.
Not the whole congregation.
Yeah.
Not one or two.
All of these brothers.
Yeah, she talking about basically talking about us that's on the screen. Yeah. I mean, we can throw it out there that she mean everybody. Even if she talking about some everybody, we ain't lost nobody to COVID. Nobody, whether they physically in the same zone with us or those that congregate with us online, we ain't lost nobody to it.
Right.
Know what I mean? All right, so that woman a false prophetess.
Yeah.
You did? You need to be called to the mat on that. You false. You're lying. You know what I mean? All because you disagree with what we say. I'm gonna eat you some lamb. That's on you. You know what I mean? Where we at, it just don't make sense. You know what I mean? All right, where we at?
Behold, he has celebrated the Passover within the gates.
We almost done.
With the matzah in place of the lamb.
That's right. Go ahead.
I indeed bought a lamb, but he forbade that it should be killed. The man of whom I bought it is witness. And Caiaphas
he bought a witness with him. Like, oh boy with me knows that he told me I bought the lamb, he ain't killing. All right, go ahead.
And Caiaphas rent his clothes and said, truly he has done a deed which is worthy of death.
Dang. Because you choose not to eat lamb on Passover, that's worthy of death.
That's what these Negroes is today. That's what these Israelites is with y'all today.
Kill it or I'm gonna kill you.
You might die. All right.
Come on, now.
For it is a weighty transgression of the law. What need we of further witness? Even now, 2 robbers have broken into the temple and stolen the book of the law, and this is the end of his teaching. Let us tell these things to the people, for they will fear the authority of the law. And one that was standing by as Judas came out and said to him, do you think that they will put him to death? And Judas said, nay, for he will do some mighty work to deliver himself out of their hands.
Wow.
Even as when they of the temple in Capernaum rose up against him, and brought him to the brow of the hill that they might throw him down headlong. And did he not pass safely through their midst? He will surely escape them now also, and proclaim himself openly and set up the kingdom whereof he spoke.
It's a movie called Mary Magdalene.
Yeah.
Mary Magdalene. Judas in there was the same way. He just was like, I will, if he get jammed up, he gonna be forced to show his power. That was his whole thing. He was like, look, I was there when they tried to throw him off the hill or the cliff in Capernaum. And he didn't, like, you know, he got jammed up and he passed through all that. So he was thinking the same thing was gonna happen. He was trying to force his hand. You know what I mean? But in that, bro, you promote your own agenda. You see what I'm saying? You promote your own agenda doing it. But right, Judas' mindset was force him to show his power. Right. You dig? But you can't force the Most High or anybody he anointed. You know what I mean? To march to the beat of your drum.
You know what? That'll make more sense for why he was so scared. Because he thinking the whole time, well, hey, you know what I'm saying? When y'all go get him, he gonna get up out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gonna be good.
Right.
And then once he saw the death, play all the way out. Death of the Messiah play all the way out. He's like, oh man, and I did it.
Kill himself and all
Yeah,
that.
so it's just like
Because really, it's like even how you put it into modern times, like how you call him snitch. Like he like, man, I just snitched on. I'm just gonna put it in modern terms. I just snitched on bruh, and he about to go to jail, and now people about to know they finna read my papers and stuff like that. Know that I did it or whatever.
Yeah, you don't get that discovery, boy. Hey, where your paperwork at?
Then they go come back to me, like, hey, bro, you just got the master killed, man. You just got the homeboy killed. I mean, or or put in jail, and then, whatever happens to him will happen to him.
Yeah, he tried to force his hand. He thought if he got jammed up, he'll be able to, if he be forced to show his power, man. You dig? So, all praise. Give us a psalm, Nehemiah, so we can go ahead and pray. We've been on here 2 hours. Now, praise to the Most High. I know it's a lot of work hours coming up this week for the brothers and sisters. Nehemiah, the big homie, said he got a 10-hour situation he got going on. You dig? Let's go ahead and face Jerusalem, pray on out. And let's throw down the feast on the unleavened bread, the bitter herbs. I'm probably gonna make me a matzo pizza. You know what I mean? Eat some salad. You dig? Charles, close the blinds right there for me if you can, brother. All right. I'll praise the glory now to the Most High. All right, who got it? We good? Okay, come on, let's rock. Let's rock.
it's a song of Darius.
The song. That's right. All right, boy. Yeah, that please.
Look at that. No. The light is coming. People will look for hell as they look for heaven and will not find it. Yet it will be all around them and within, as it always was. The light is coming. The reflection of your heart will mirror your experience with God. The light is coming. Those that nourish the body with the life will see glory and beauty. The light is coming. Those that think nourishment to be death and blood will see destruction and the same. The light is coming. The fire will refine and strengthen the strong metals, while the weak and corroded ones will be consumed. The light is coming. Those that pass through the first hell will only see heaven, and those that look to be thrown into the fire will see God as that very flame. The light is coming. Those that polish the mirrors of their heart with the tile of their mind will reflect the source of their creation. The light is coming. Those who do not wipe away the dust and stains from their mirrors will only reflect the darkness of nothingness. Emptiness is the reward of giving nothing. Selah. Selah. The light is coming. For those who have mirrored Yahweh as the moon does the sun, the light is already here. The light is coming. For those who do not, time was given as a blessing of love and mercy. But time is short, and your now will be your eternity. The light is coming. Those that torment will forever be tortured. Those that live for the attention of the world will die for the whole world to see. Those that covet will only want to trade places with their own past selves. Those that lust will be intimate with fire everlasting. Those that steal will have their eternity stolen from them. And those that love to spill blood will experience an eternal death and will see the same end. The light is coming. What will you do when the light comes? And who you are? Just smeared. Who you are is just smeared and shattered glass. The light is coming. And in the name of YAHWH'S, HaMashiach, the light of the world, we, the shining mirrors of grace, and the sons and daughters of Yahweh will reflect that light. We will bring warmth to the shivering and ice to the overheated. We will bring clothes to the naked and food to the hungry. We will bring wisdom to the fool and love to the hateful. We will bring homes to the homeless and protection to the defenseless. We will bring speech to the dumb and hearing to the deaf. We will bring sight to the blind. We will bring upliftment to the lame and healing to the sick. We will bring enlightenment to the darkness and life to the dead. We will bring fruit to fruition and life to the beginning. We will bring peace to war. We will bring our Hamashiach. We will bring our Elohim. We will bring Yahweh, our Father, and the Father of all, to the world that has forsaken him. And we will wipe away the darkness of the land. And we and the world will become the reflection of Yah, the eternal light. The light is coming, and it is here. Hallelujah! 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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Boy, the light is coming. Boy, the light is coming. Come on, man. You can't keep going there. You gotta keep running, man. You gotta keep running, man. You a champ, man. You made it run to the fire, not get burnt. The light is coming. It's coming, baby. The light is coming.
Shalom, fam, in the chat. Shalom, shalom.
Yeah, talk to you people. That's what it basically looks like. That's all it is. Yeah, Charles.
Right.
I've come to teach the gospel. How y'all doing now?
No, that's unleavened breed. They're gonna make a place right now, though, y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all sit on down and show yourself. Let's let me throw some music. I'm gonna turn the light on in the front row. Throw some music on. Let's go ahead and chill. The light is coming.
That's all the Psalms are, bro. It's poetry, bro.
Songs and poetry.
It's poetry,
Songs,
man.
songs of Yah.
Songs and poetry, man. Straight off the yacht. Straight off the yacht. Straight up, man.
Bow wow tonight.
I don't even have much to say.
I
ain't got much to say.
He in the building. He said that boy.
What's up, man?
I'll send you a hall. You all good?
Yeah. But nah, man, like I ain't been having much to say.
So you ain't grab one
when it comes to these matters, man.
Peace.
I under peace. That's all really I have to say. The inner teachings, man.
Blessings.
Them be the. I don't be having much to say, man. Unless we
Man,
having
look, we
these
ain't got
conversations.
nothing. You have nothing to say. Say nothing.
Say nothing. For real. Say nothing.
Bring them dominoes out.
But yes.
Hey man, peace and blessings to the family, man. Hey, the light is in you, man. Keep it in you.
The light is. Yes, that's what I did want to say. I thank you for that. So now I'm about to back off what you just said. We're not even gonna put it back on. We're gonna breath back off. Breath back. No plant back. No breath back, man. We're gonna breath back off what you just said. Listen. The light is within you. Everything that you've been seeking, everything that you've been looking for is already in you. You have nothing because you do not realize that you have everything.
Still above ground. That's all that matters.
Realize who you truly are, man. you realize who you truly are, man, and you find everything that you want. You looking for God? Look within yourself, man. You looking for peace, man? Look within yourself. You looking for happiness, bro? Look at within yourself. You looking for Jesus the Christ. For all my Christians out there, if you looking for Jesus the Christ, man, look within yourself. For any other, for any other, peace be unto you, man. Whoever comes on this channel, man, look, peace and love be with me, man.
Peace be unto all. Love y'all. Be the truth.
Shalom. Be the truth. What's this? This one right here?
Yep. And broadcast.
That's a stop time.
Yeah. Stop. No. In broadcast.